Hello, welcome to the fifth Pandas tutorial for data analysis and data manipulation. So, we've gone to a lot of things in this class, starting from the introduction to Pandas tutorial. Then we've gone to simple analysis and detailed analysis, and the last session we discussed how to make different kinds of plots from your analysis. Okay, so let's proceed in this function. There is a particular method provided in a series and also in data frames, which is the group by function. This can help you a lot in your data manipulation. So this is how you use the group by function. Recall that we created a subset data that looks like this last time. So if I use the group by function, so what actually the group by does is that it looks for the continuous data in your data set and try to group it by, you specify a particular categorical variable, then it group it by the continuous function. So this is how it looks like. Let's say that I've specified a categorical variable gender. So this is the categorical variable. So you just have two classes, just the male and the female. Then I can say that group by gender. Then I might decide to group it using the sum. So once I run this code, I have something like this. So you can see that the gender has been created as a series with a series index of the gender, then values of age. Okay, so this is the sum of all gender for each for age, the sum of age for all the gender. So I can use the mean to determine the mean of age for all gender. Do you understand that? So you have a mean of age for all gender. So aside from this, you can specify more than one categorical attribute. I can also specify earnings. So we have a particular attribute earnings in our data sets that we created here. So you can see we have age, country, and earnings. Also specify the earnings. Okay, this should be comma. So we have this. So these are the earnings. For example, from female alone, we have an average of this and this. And for female that has less than 50,000, that is earning less than $50,000, this is their mean earning. And for male that is earning less than $50,000, this is their earning. Then we have male that earn more than $50,000, this is their earning. So this makes it easy to make two different kinds of analysis. You can also specify country as part of your analysis. But in this case, when specifying country, I have a lot of things which might be difficult for me to interpret. So I'll just create a new analysis here for that of country. Then I want the mean of the country. So you can see this is the mean of country. You can see that we have we have this particular question mark. I said it in the last session that the question mark means that there are some adult that didn't fill out this, then it's a missing data. We might need to also remove from our data set. So if you want to do that, I could adjust to it by saying that subset data underscore data. I can replace it with none. So I think I will discuss np.nan sometimes within this session. That was the second session, I think so. So or the first session. So you can go to the video and see what exactly is input. Now it's just a non-variable. So I can replace subset underscore data that replace by I'm replacing question mark by np.none. So I have to do it for all because I'm intend to remove this from the data set. So I'm not sure about the value, but I think this should work. This by np.none. Try to put a space. Maybe there should be a space before. Yeah, this using space work. So I've been able to replace it. You can see np.none. So it's working fine. But we might also need to put this up where we created the data set here. So just immediately after creating the data set, so we can update all our values that we generated previously. Because removing that alone, we have effect in all our values. So you can see this is different age, mean of different age, and then we can also point it at particular. You can try to look for the highest one that has the highest age from here. Like which country has the highest age. So you can see that this Hungary has the highest age. So the group by function allows you to do a lot of things. Instead of the mean we've provided here, we can also provide the sum. We can provide the mean min. We can provide the max max. We can provide the max max. Then there is a particular keyword that can also be provided, which might be true or false. It is called the sort. So I think sort should be set by default to be true. So this means that it's going to sort our data. Let's see if we can put something like sort. So this is the sorting of data. I'm not sure it's sorted. Let me see the first, what it actually does. Okay. So the sort means just the way the data class are being arranged in the data frame. Then we have some other ones called the drop none keyword. And this drop none keyword, because we've already removed none, by default drop down is true. So if I've used instead, it's going to consider the none variable like the missing data in my data class, then it's going to be included. You can see. But if I thought it is true, it should be by default it is true. Then you get this there. It's going to assume that you intend to drop the none by default, but you can actually remove it from there. So I can also provide the look for the min min. So this is the min. In this case, I get a lot of because I intend to use the mean. It doesn't concentrate alone on the data class. So it look for the mean for each countries, like which countries in age, gender, and in the gender, the mean of the data class, the fewer data class is the female for Cambodia, and for any the fewer data value is this. So you just look for the fewer data value, but for continuous data, it looks for the mean. You can see 17 for Canada, and likewise the marks, we also get the same thing like this. Okay, so this group by function is something powerful that you might use it a lot for your data analysis. Okay, sometimes once you make a analysis like this, you can see in this we have a beautiful data frame which I'm going to call DF analysis. DF analysis. Sometimes you might need to export your analysis into just export it out. Pandas data frame, Pandas in Python also allows us to export our analysis as CSV file, Excel file, even text file. So to export data, I can use the keyword to CSV. So in this case, I will be exporting as a CSV file. So I have to provide a CSV name, which I'm going to call export.csv. Once I run this, I'm going to have this export.csv created here. So you see my analysis created. You can see this is a CSV file. In case you want to export your analysis, you can use this to export your analysis. And sometimes you might need to switch off your index. So this is what I mean by index. Yeah, analysis. This is what I mean by index. But in this case, I would like to switch off our index. But in case you want to switch off the index, you set index to be 0 or false. So this is going to export everything. If I close this, then I open this again, you see that the index has been switched off from the data analysis. Like I said, I would like to switch off my index, so I'll leave this index to be out of it. So I still have my index again like this. Okay, so that is that about the group by function and the export function. We also discuss about the replace function here. Now let's just discuss these little things that might also interest you. Recall that we have our subset data. Sometimes you might need to just join this with a new data series, but note that if you are joining it with a new data series, it must have the same numbers of elements like the one we have here. But if it doesn't, sometimes it might just need to match with the data class. You might need to match with the indexes. So this is what I mean. In our major data set, which is this, so you can see that we have some other attributes like this occupation or educational level. This should be educational level, so which is in the 0, 1, 2, 3, the third column. If I intend to join this third column with my data frame, which is here, And I can use the join keyword, join, and I will specify that data that I log joining the series of the fourth column. So I have something like this. You can see it has been joined. I'm not sure if the fourth column is what I'm pointing at. Is 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, it should be the third is what I intend to join. Third. So this is what I actually meant, that you can see even though these numbers of attributes here are less than the numbers of attributes here, it's going to look for all indexes of this one and it's going to be joined with all indexes of these ones. So for example, zeroth indexes of this will be joined with zeroth indexes of this particular one, even though the numbers of records in the subset data and data are not the same. So you have something like this. Then you can also reaffirm your columns, because here we have a column of bachelor which I would like. I would like to have maybe educational level. Then I can use this particular list of column that I created here. I'm going to add a educational level to it. Like say that subset data columns is equal to this, then comma education uh, see that subset underscore data now have something like this. See? So with this also we can make analysis with the group by function. So in this case I'll say education. I can find the max. If I'm looking for the mean, I only get the continuous variable education level. I don't know what exactly is wrong with this, but we'll try as much as possible to get over this error. We have something like this. So maybe it's not well spread out correctly. That is what I'm having error. If I'm using this just the mean, I only get the continuous variable. And also the sum. This is the sum of all the age. Doesn't make sense looking for sum, but because it is age, mean looks better. Then I can look for the educational level that has the least age or mean, or the highest age mean. But if I concentrate on looking for something like a mean MIN, then I'll have more than this. Somehow we couldn't get this. There are some data like analysis that might not be as possible as this, because in this case you can see that when we did that of our country, we were able to get analysis for this, like country. We were able to get analysis for this, but it's not working for educational level somehow. It's not working for it. So this is that about data analysis and data manipulation for this session in Python programming language. Then we're using the Python notebook. Although what we've done here, we can also tell it's different Python environment. Another Python environment I recommend is the Google Collaboratory, where you can try this kind of analysis. We still have some other function that we might need to discuss in the subsequent class. Then, and subsequent class, I might change this uh, data example, which we'll be using, which is the adult data, and look for another kinds of data sets. Then make different kinds of analysis, detailed analysis that you might like to export, or create data visualization dashboard for using Pandas. So thank you so much. I would like you to subscribe to my channel so you can get too much content that looks like this. Thank you for watching.